Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for the playing of our national anthem?
Game time, NBA, slamming ops like MMA in the octagon. When I'm about to rhyme, I drop a young 8 like it's mama time. Then 8 more, that's a Paul Gasol, they gon' say, whoa, that bar's raw. Got a fast break straight to the hole, drop the last 8, that's 24. When there's plenty more where that came from. Better know the flow grade A1, and I'm ambidextrous, AI. They can plan to exit, they can't hide. I got hands in the fight like Nate, whether I know your mans and I might think they better, but they ain't never. They featherweight, treble clever, heavyweight in every state, never delegate. My team the greatest from the NYC to Vegas. None of them in the game, I see the A-list, but none of them can't quite see me. They wish I'm raising the bar. You players ain't ranking and taking up space at the bar when we drinking. I'm calling the play. You balling tomorrow, we balling today. We going all the way. We're taking off from here. Watch as we go. Ain't no one blocking nor stopping. We know we making every shot that we throw. Watch as we go. Going all the way. You know we coming, going all the way. Up to something, going all the way. We ain't over, going all the way. You can't ignore it, going all of the way.
What is good? What is good, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy James, aka Hollywood J Black, live in the building once again. Let's get zoomed in on this real quick, y'all. And this is the Overtime Sports Show. I got my main man, Big MFing Sin is in the building. How you doing, Big Sin? How you doing, sir?
I am here, I am there, I am everywhere. My kid is turning fucking 13 tomorrow, and I'm an old motherfucker.
Yes. We have a bunch of September birthdays. Libra takeover in the building. I just celebrated my 38th birthday yesterday. Even got a little bit of Cash App love yesterday, which was a nice little bit.
Yeah, why you out there holding yourself for dollars and shit, dog?
Hey, if it works for the women, I could do it too, bro. I mean, what you want me to do?
I know equal rights.
Equal rights and equal lefts. Anyways, this is your boy, James, aka Hollywood J Black. Big Sinners in the building. We had a hell of a weekend, bro.
This past weekend, I fell back a little bit more because of my stupid predictions of certain teams who I believed in, like the Falcons and the Ravens.
Yeah.
So last week, our standings are, I went 10-6. Mr. Black here went 12-4. That leaves us for the season standings. I'm at 31 wins and 16 losses and 1 tie. Mr. Black is at 35 wins, 12 losses and 1 tie.
Yes, sir. And we're it's this season started out real good for me. I was on a high note, and then you called some shit I didn't even think this weekend was gonna happen. I was like, what? I'm like, okay, all right. You in with the books. I see how it is. You in the sports books and shit. I forgot you in Vegas. You be knowing more shit than I do sometimes, but it's all good. We're gonna let that slide, sir.
Well, when we get to that game, I'll explain to you why I made that choice and made the prediction I made.
Hey, I ain't mad at you. I got nothing but love for you. All right, so
let's start off here. Oh yeah, you want to talk about some college football real quick, or you want to do the NFL? Because I don't know college, so that's on you.
No, we'll do the NFL. We got to go straight into the NFL action.
Right, so last week, the Jaguars beat the Titans on Thursday night. I told you on Friday, I already lost that fucking game. We have a porn star as the quarterback for the Jaguars, and he's playing very well.
Hey, your boy Gardner Minshew. It's Minshew time down in Jacksonville. They shouting out Duval for the first time in the last
Minshew time, bitch.
Minshew time. Everybody talking about who the hell is Gardner Minshew. Remember, Gardner Minshew last year led Washington State to I think only a 1-loss season last year in college football. Dude just plays quarterback very well. He was taken in the 6th round. Similar, the same exact position as another 6th round quarterback that was taken. I'm not gonna say his name, but yes, TB12's in the building. But I mean, there's a lot of comparisons. He's not the most athletic person. He just knows how to play quarterback really, really well. And you can't argue with that. Like, I don't know what people say that. Like, they get mad. Like, they're like, who the hell's Gardner Minshew? He just plays fucking quarterback really well.
He is Uncle Rico.
Yeah, Uncle Rico. Thank you. You throw the football over a damn mountain. God damn it, shit. Yeah, I called Jacksonville. I said it's Minshew time, baby, because I can't trust Marcus Mariota. But I mean, shout out to Jacksonville. They did their thing, bro. They did their thing.
All right. So Friday we talked about something. We talked about Antonio Brown being released from the Patriots. A lot of the people who jumped on the Patriots bandwagon after Brown got there jumped right back off. Oh, no, the Patriots ain't going to do nothing.
Yeah.
Patriots are going to be fine. Trust me. So the first game we're going to talk about from the weekend, we have a 0-3. Well, now they're 0-3, taking on a 3-0. And it's funny because the 3-0 team that won this game is actually 14-point underdogs to their next opponent. We have the Cincinnati Bengals dropping a game to the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills look good, but they got the Patriots coming up.
Yeah. Oh, man.
How you going to be undefeated and be a 14-point underdog?
See, that's when your undefeated shit isn't worth a damn. That's what it is. It ain't worth the paper that it's written on. Because they know the whole thing is this, right? The Patriots know about their defense. The defense has been performing well above expectations, along with a few other defenses, which I think what it is it's all right. So last year, Colin Cowherd was talking about something. I don't pay attention to the dude, but I pay attention to the little nuggets that he says, right? Colin Cowherd said something to the effect of that the Chiefs were the only team to consistently, over a period of time, or in a short period of time, score over New England, which was the 24 points in garbage time that they did in the playoffs last year, right? And so last year, as we know, was an offensive anomaly season. Mm-hmm. I think New England knows that, and they stepped up their shit, which is why, even with the threat of a 3-0 Buffalo Bills team coming in.
Okay, so this Patriots defense, yes, the Jets scored 14 points. None of those were offensive.
Exactly.
One was a pick six because Jared Stidham overthrew Brandon Bolden.
Yep. And
one was Gunnar Ushleski making a bad play on a punt return.
Yeah.
His defense has only given up 3 points.
Yeah.
This season, in a total of 6 in their last 4 games.
Yeah.
Now the LA Rams in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And that's why I told you in the Super Bowl is when this defense finally came to fruition. They shut down the high-powered offense of the Rams, and then they have brought that into this season. They
added a Jamie Collins.
Yeah, well, and Kyle Van Noy, who he played the last game, right? He didn't play the first.
No, Van Noy didn't play against Pittsburgh. He's played the last 2.
Played the last 2, and that defense actually looked more spectacular with him inserted.
Because what people don't understand about Kyle Van Noy is the Detroit Lions drafted him. Detroit Lions called him a bust.
Yep.
Bill Belichick just told the man, follow the football.
Yep.
And now he's a defensive captain on this team that does not give up anything.
Yeah. Like people don't understand when it comes to defense, right? When you have a really good defensive minded coach, that's why coaches like I forget his name. Oh my goodness. The coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers now used to be the coach of Bruce Arians. Thank you. So when you have Bruce Arians and you have his assistant who used to be the coach of the Jets, right? When you get these guys that know defense and you give them the personnel that they want, they can put people in the position in order to win, right? What's good, Mr. Robert? Robert's welcome to the show. Welcome to the Overtime Sports Show, sir. And the same thing with Rex Ryan. And I know you hate Rex Ryan's name.
Sexy Rexy over there, Mr. Foot Fetish Boy, he still hates the Patriot way.
Yeah, he does, and I admit it. But you have to admit that he's a really good defensive coordinator, right? I mean, I as a head coach, man, but as a defensive coordinator, he put up some really serious stymieing defenses out into the world. That's his whole.
he also had the benefit of having Ray Lewis and Ed Reed for a lot of that.
Yeah. I mean, even that Jets team, which had a trash
everything but Darrelle Revis.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, well, everything but Darrelle Revis. Another couple guys on the line, right? Robert he must be on a. Robert's out on a drive for he's riding a truck. He's out in Phoenix, Arizona. Go while you're there. Make sure you give the middle finger to the Cardinal Stadium like I did when I was out there. But anyways, so when you have personnel, and especially personnel that people said, oh, he's a failure. He didn't succeed well. You put those players in a position to win. They go out and do their thing, and they succeed. Bill Belichick is the king of that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Ty Law was an amazing corner. He didn't want to play corner anywhere else except New England, which is why he retired.
He went to the Jets, he played for the Chiefs, and had very subpar seasons when he played there.
Yeah, subpar. Because that defense is not the same. You have to put players in a position to win. And that's simply what it comes down to. Then that's the thing with Kyle Van Noy. I know that I took this long road to get to that point. But Kyle Van Noy he had a Patriots coordinator on his, he was, on his team last year as the head coach. So
no, Kyle Van Noy's been with the Patriots for 3 years.
Oh, it's been 3 years. Okay, well, my bad. I'm sorry.
Remember, actually his first Super Bowl was the Falcons one.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Well, that was during the Jim Caldwell days, which you would think that with the Jim Caldwell, he's seen those type of players that, having to face him in New England, you think he'd see it, and he didn't. It is what it is. But the point of the conversation.
Hold on. We also talking about a man who. Oh wait, no, that was Chuck Pagano. Never mind. Forget that thought.
Oh, Robert says already flicked it off. Good man, sir. You're a good man. You're a faithful. You're a gentleman scholar.
How we turned into talking about the Patriots from the Bengals and Bills game, I don't know.
Because I'm gonna get to that. All right. So let me. This is where it gets to. So the Buffalo Bills. So you ever been bullied in high school, or somebody had tried to attempt to bully you in high school?
Yeah.
Okay. So at some point you had to fight back, right? I mean, because you're not just gonna sit there and take the bullying at some point, right?
You witnessed it.
Yeah, I did actually. And so the Bills being in the same league, in the same division, that has to play the Patriots twice every year. At some point, you got to stop being bullied and stop being the laughing stock. Remember, this was a playoff team 3 years ago.
Remember, the Patriots won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they were a playoff team 3 years ago. The Bills. And then they decided to tank their whole season, throw it out the window. I don't know why the fuck they did that. But the Bills, they have an opportunity now that they see that they have to stop being bullied. And hell, if you lose to the Patriots twice, and you could probably still go 10-6, 9-7. Fucking take those 2 L's and fuck it, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, Josh Allen. All right, is White Mike Vick. All right, let's just call a spade a spade.
He's White Mike Vick because his offensive line is still garbage.
I aside from Frank Gore, that's like the only good thing on his team. Oh, I'm sorry, Cole Beasley. You know Cole Beasley is a top receiver on their team?
Bro, no shit. We all knew that was going to happen when Dallas let him go.
Like Josh Allen.
Cole Beasley is discount Julian Edelman.
Discount double check Julian Edelman. Hey, out of Josh,
right.
Out of Josh Allen's 15 completions, 12 of them I think went to Cole Beasley. I mean, that's an exaggerated number, but it tells you majority.
No, it ain't. And the other four went to Frank Gore. That is the Bills' offense.
Josh Allen, Frank Gore, and Cole Beasley. How the hell
are you running a fucking 38-year-old running back 40 times a game?
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Anyway, when you have nothing else, you have to have something. I mean, I mean, you got to turn shit into sugar. And that's what the Bills are doing. Cincinnati is just a horrible team.
They looked really good week 1, but then we come to find out this past week that the Seahawks might not be as good as we thought they were. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater lit their asses up.
Yikes.
Alvin Kamara destroyed their asses. We will get to that later.
I mean, yeah, we'll get to that one later. But I feel bad for Andy Dalton, man. He lost his coach, lost his offensive coordinator, lost everything.
Hold on. Let's put something in perspective. He lost his coach, who lost the first round of the playoffs for 17 straight years.
And now you know what they have? No playoffs. So you see how that goes? Let me tell you something. If I kept the coach and paid him an extra $100,000 a year, I mean for one playoff game, that way I can fill my stadium and make $5 million in revenue. I do it. I'm sorry. Somebody gassed up Paul Brown, right? It wouldn't have been me. I'm like, why are you keeping Marvin Lewis? Because he makes sure I get an extra $5 million in playoff revenue. Y'all niggas is stupid. Fucking thing I look like. I know that we're guaranteed a winning record and some jersey sales, okay? Because we're gonna make the fucking playoffs. And you want me to do what? Nah, I can't do that. But somebody convinced them, and now they 0-3.
Well, the biggest issue with Cincinnati this year is Joe Mixon has not been able to get it going.
Nope, not even in a game that they came close and almost winning, he didn't get it going. Ain't that some shit? It was the Andy Dalton show in game 1. It's actually been the Andy Dalton show in all 3 games.
All right, next up we have – this game makes me laugh because one of my coworkers is a Cowboys fan, and during the first half of this game, he was pissed in a fit, talking about the referees are fucking us. The referees are doing this and that and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, hold on. The Dolphins have only scored 6 points. Calm your tits.
No, he's probably losing their shit because the Cowboys weren't covering the spread. That's why the fucking spread was 22.5. I know, but he was probably sweating because the spread was 22.5.
Yes, and Patriot people who bet on the Patriots but Jets are very pissed off at Jared Stidham right now. Anyway. But, okay. I got a shout out that says Jay some way somehow bring up Colin Kaepernick just saying Sid watch you.
No, that's not today's show. That's gonna be this weekend, the Friday show. Anyways, I have nothing to say about that man and whose name I shall not mention.
All right, anyway. So the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl by beating the 3 worst teams in the NFL.
Woohoo! Yeah, that's right. Powerhouses. You know who the Cowboys remind me of? You know who Cowboys fans remind me of? Alabama fans. That's who they remind me of. You know why?
We play the shittiest schedule. We reserve our players, then we actually win a championship. That's why they can't be Alabama fans, because Dallas hasn't won shit since Betamax.
Well, no, but here's the thing, though. They play the 3 worst teams. Like Alabama plays Southwest McNeese State, Lower Galveston University.
You just say Lower Walsack University?
Northeastern Middle Kansas State. Look at that. fucking Texas Christian fucking correctional facility and shit.
Yeah, they're playing with Apple Sandler and shit.
You know what I'm saying? The fucking Alcatraz football team and shit. What the fuck? Alabama can't tell fucking Alabama fans. They piss me off.
All right, so I'm gonna say it now. I know Cowboy fans are like, yeah, pay Dak Prescott. Yeah, pay Dak Prescott. 27th, 28th, and 29th ranked defenses in the NFL that he's put up these numbers against.
That's right, baby. He's put up Pro Bowl numbers against subpar defenses. That's right.
Dak, I know you're never going to watch this show, so I'm going to say it to you. I'm going to look you dead in the eye and say it, okay, buddy? You should have took the $30 million when it was offered.
God, what's gonna happen when he has to play like real games?
They play New England this year.
Yikes.
Shit, they play Buffalo this year. Cole Beasley is going to show out against that defense.
Cole Beasley going for 200. Josh Allen going to run for 200.
Well, Cole Beasley mad because they didn't pay him.
I said fucking Frank Gore is going to go for like 300. just because he's on the field. Ain't that tell you something?
Yeah.
Is that
it's fucked up, dog. So
What?
Tally made that $5 bet, and Robert said he'll double down on that.
Robert said they played Northern, West, Southeast Arkansas State.
You know why? Because Nick Saban is doing Geico commercials. Now, whereas Nick Saban is doing Geico commercials, his team's actually winning. All I see when I watch the NFL on Sunday is Baker Mayfield and Home Depot commercials. Go play some fucking football and run the ball into the end zone when there's nobody in front of you. You had 20 yards either way, right to the end zone, Baker, for a touchdown to beat the fucking Rams. And what'd you do? Throw an interception.
You know, hey, real shit. You know who Baker?
Sorry about that.
You know who the Cleveland Browns remind me of? A walking billboard, right? Because they got advertisements from watchmakers, shoe salesmen, fucking commercials with Home Depot.
Fucking scary-ass Odell Beckham's wearing $2 million watches on the goddamn field.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're walking fucking advertisement. And they have shit.
You want to know how you know there's an issue in Cleveland?
How?
When Jarvis Landry is your sanest person on the field.
Yeah. The fact that Jarvis Landry hasn't gotten the ball as much as he should get the ball because he's a slot receiver.
Bro, we all know Jarvis Landry is 10 yards and that's it.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. Why are you not using – I mean, if you're trying to emulate the offenses, like you're trying to do the same stuff New England is, Jarvis Landry should have like 10 catches a fucking game. You know what I'm saying? Let's really be honest. Let's really be real about this shit. And they're not. Matter of fact, since we're on the Browns game, let's get to it. Let's get right to it. I know it was a Sunday night game, but we got to get right to it. Let's talk about that shit because, like you said, so the play of the game where the Browns could have went up and won this game, Baker Mayfield was wide, had all the space in the world to go win.
I could have ran that shit in. I'm a 360-pound man. I could have ran that shit in. And I'm 38. I got a bad knee and 2 bad ankles. I could have ran that shit in.
I could have ran that shit in with my fucking bad knee. Cause come on now, let's really. I could have ran that shit the same day I got injured with my bad knee. I would have drugged that motherfucker into the end zone. That's how bad that shit. I could have
ran that shit in when I had the split in my urethra and a bad ankle. I could have ran that shit in.
Like, I don't know what the fuck, Baker. I mean, it was an overall good game. I mean, Baker Mayfield he threw 2 picks, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But it was overall yardage-wise. He did complete some good passes. He made some mostly good decisions. But this decision was like the one decision that, what the fuck?
Okay, so.
Yeah, they hit me with the.
All right. So I'm going to tell you what the Cleveland Browns are.
Trash.
The Cleveland Browns are the Waterworld of the NFL. Waterworld, in all essence of what it was, should have been good. The Cleveland Browns, in all essence of what they are, should be good. But like Kevin Costner's Waterworld movie, it sunk. And as we see right now with the Cleveland Browns, if they don't get some of this water off of their world, their season will be over in 3 weeks.
Yeah, at 1-2, and you're trying to catch up. The only reprieve that they got recently was the Ravens losing. That's the only reprieve that they got. Otherwise, could you imagine what would happen if the Ravens was be 3-0 right now? Yeah. Could you imagine going through that?
Honestly, I didn't think that they'd be 2-0 when they started the season. So,
I mean,
I had no hope for the Ravens this year. None.
But that's what I'm saying. Now I think if you imagine 3-0,
we both said this is Cleveland's division to lose, and they are fucking losing it.
Yeah, they need to change something. Yeah, so like Robert said, what happened was that's exactly what it is. That's exactly that's if the Browns keep fucking up this season, I would love to see how this goes. That's going to be the tagline of the Cleveland Browns to see what happened was.
You see what makes me? I feel bad for Freddie Kitchens because he is coaching his ass off on that sideline. You see it every fucking game.
Yeah. But this is the problem. That's what happens when you take an offensive coordinator, a guy who recently became offensive coordinator, because he was just the quarterback's coach when he started last year. And then when Hugh Jackson got fired, he got promoted to offensive coordinator because Greg Williams became the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
But it was crazy how all this comes out. Like, we finally find out, I think last week during the Jets game, and we kind of find out how Greg Williams didn't end up becoming the coach because a lot of his Cleveland players hated him.
Yeah, they did not like that motherfucker.
Which is crazy because they won with him.
They won with him. They won in spite of him.
Do you think so?
Listening to Miles Jack and shit like that talk, yeah. I think they won because he was telling them they weren't shit.
Well,
sometimes negative reinforcement embarks in positive enforcement.
Yeah, which is true.
Negative can, you got to crush coal to get a diamond. You know what I'm saying?
Well, keep in mind, I mean, let's call a spade here for a second. Let's be real.
Also, don't forget, Greg Williams' best time of coaching is when he put a bounty on Brett Favre.
Yeah. See, you think about it though. Isn't that? I think what Triple H, how Triple H should say, he takes that coal and he squeezes it, put a little bit of pressure on it, and tries to turn it into a diamond, right? I don't think that Freddie Kitchens has that mentality, and I think there's too many big diamonds in the room, or too many big pieces of coal that.
Okay, Baker Mayfield, basically Johnny Manziel without a drinking problem.
Yeah.
You have Jarvis Landry, the former Miami Dolphins best wide receiver in 10 years.
Yeah.
Then you have Mr. I propose to a kicking net and I wear a $2 million watch on the field every fucking week, Odell Beckham, who the only thing that he can actually run are street routes.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield needs to have Jarvis do the short stuff. When Odell gets open, like he did against the Jets, and now we see how bad the Jets really are. And the reason Odell lit them up for 162 yards 2 weeks ago. Baker has the arm.
Yeah.
He does not have the accuracy.
No, I mean he got to get that. I missed that. Last year he had a gunslinger mentality, right? But he had accuracy last year. You see him put balls in places that only he could put them in, like only a good quarterback can put them in, and only where the receiver can grab it. Last year's Baker is different than this year's Baker. I have no idea what it is. It's not
because this year's Baker bulked up with 20 pounds of muscle.
It's probably the worst thing for him then.
Yeah, I mean, because his arm strength, yes, it went up. He's throwing the ball tighter and with more zip, but it's not on target. No. If you notice that during that Rams game.
Yeah, and you can't really blame the defense because there was so many times that Freddie Kitchens' offensive schemes exposed the Rams.
The Rams are not that good.
No, not at all. And you know what? Here's something that I thought I would not say. They're really, really missing the Ndamukong Suh in the middle.
Tampa Bay is playing well with having him in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, they sacked Baker 3 times, but remember the Rams last year with Suh used to be in the backfield and used to probably average like 5-6 sacks a game.
The reason this is last year's Rams defensive line. You had Suh lined up next to Aaron Donald on 93% of defensive snaps.
Yep. So you had the whole
double team one of those two men.
Yep. And you might as well check your chances with Suh and pray that double teaming Suh and praying that Donald doesn't blow by you as fast as he did last year.
Aaron Donald showed that he is the man on the defensive line.
Yeah. But even at that, you should have paid. I would have paid Suh another year. If you saw that it was working that good on that side of the line, I would have just paid the man, bro. Seriously.
For people like us who like other things other than the NFL, Ndamukong Suh already put in for the XFL, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's ready to roll. I mean, and I understand because he's going to be young, still in his prime. He's not even 30. I think he's barely hit 30, 31. But freaking 30 to 35 is the best years of a lineman, bro. Like, if you're an all-star lineman, that's like your best years. But the Rams got exposed defensively. Freddie Kitchen's schemes were good. They just like Robert said, lots of passion and commitment, not enough execution. They weren't executing. Put it this way: Nick Chubb remember the vaunted Rams defense. Nick Chubb had almost 100 yards rushing, and he was the only running back running. And they only ran it 20 sometimes.
Yeah, Nick Chubb is a hard man to stop, no matter what defense you are.
Yeah,
but when you have Aaron Donald on your D line, you're supposed to stop the run.
Yep, and that didn't happen. So this is literally Cleveland lost this game.
I'm sitting there trying to balance out where it works. We bounce it up and down the fucking schedule.
I know. Well, we went straight to it because we start talking about the Browns. So
yeah. So talk about the Dolphins and Cowboys. All right. So we got the Denver Broncos, who look like shit, and Green Bay, who Aaron Rodgers looks like he found his swagger.
Yeah. We called this game as Green Bay winning. The Broncos didn't look good enough for us to really decide if they were going to actually win this game or not.
Aaron Rodgers actually looks like he has confidence in his arm again.
Yeah. Yeah, Lambeau Field is a dangerous place to play after they shit the bed with Arizona winning, beating them in Green Bay last year. Yikes. But look, in all seriousness, Aaron Rodgers is back, but he's not back.
No. He's still moving very gingerly.
Yeah, he hasn't been the same since he took that hit in that Bears game last year at the beginning of the season.
Injected him full of needles and told him to go play the whole season.
Yeah, they're gonna have to lean on Williams, their running back. They're gonna have to lean on him a lot this season. Jamal Williams is a decent running back. He's been their go-to guy, and Jones, the other guy. I think it's Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones. They've been really leaning on those guys, and for Aaron Rodgers to finally heal and not burn out his arm, I think they're going to have to really, really, really lean on him. But they did lean on Williams this game, and it allowed Aaron Rodgers to actually be a little bit more productive. The Broncos.
Hold on, can I veer off something real quick?
Yeah.
So Pro Football Focus just released their top 7 quarterbacks through week 3.
Okay.
Are you ready for this list?
Sure.
Number 7.
Okay.
The Oakland Raiders, Derek Carr.
Okay.
Number 6. The Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes.
Number 6? Wow.
Yeah. Number 5. The Houston Texans, Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
Number 4. The Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson. Number 3. The Philadelphia Eagles, Carson Wentz.
Okay.
I don't know how. Number 2. The Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott.
What?
And the number 1 quarterback in Pro Football Focus's top 7 quarterbacks through 3 weeks of the NFL season is the New England Patriots, Tom Brady.
That's interesting. All right, so I've definitely put in Tom Brady at least top 3, if not top, just based off of efficiency alone. Mahomes not being in the top 3, on the other hand, is suspect at best.
How is Carson Wentz even up there?
Exactly. I mean, you got to throw the whole list away. At that point, it's
Pro Football Focus. What the fuck are you guys doing? Yeah.
They're not even a reputable source anymore. They've had their card pulled. Matter of fact, we're gonna have to call some government agencies, make sure they're a legitimate website.
So okay, the only ones in that top 7 who as of right now, as of 3 weeks in the NFL, Brady, Mahomes, Watson, and probably Russell Wilson. That's it.
Well, if Watson stops dying, yeah, I mean.
Well, I mean, I get why they put Dak Prescott in there because he has dominated the 27th, 28th, and 29th worst defenses in the NFL.
That's right. Domination, baby. Domination. Freaking northeastern Southern Kansas University.
Oh my goodness! But much love Pro Football Focus for showing the 43-year-old all the love.
They're out there playing Rancho High School. Anyways,
I know you saw that. And I know you saw that picture where it was like the best quarterbacks in 15 years. It said Wentz, Prescott, Mahomes, Tom Brady, and Deshaun Watson.
It said 15 years, like
the Tom Brady name show up in that motherfucker.
I know, right? I think he's gonna be playing until 2040. Tom Brady's son's gonna be in the NFL by then.
Well, Tom Brady has become only the second player in NFL history to play against a father and son.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? I'm like, what the fuck?
As a matter of fact, the center right now, the one who replaced David Andrews, was in the crowd during the 2001 Super Bowl against the Rams, and he was only 5.
Hell no.
All right, wow. So you were going on a tangent about the Denver Broncos?
The Denver Broncos are trash.
Von Miller should have stopped doing Old Spice commercials and started working on his play.
I mean, this is the unfortunate part about this. This is John Elway running his team like he runs his desert dealerships down in Vegas. Very low budget. Very low budget. Not worth the time of day. I used to think that John Elway was a sort of genius, right? That's all thrown out the window. I no longer think he's a genius. Matter of fact,
the smartest thing he ever has done as management for the Denver Broncos was bring in a quarterback who couldn't feel his neck or his hands.
I mean, that man did break passing records that first year.
They should have got rid of him after that first year.
They drug his ass through the Super Bowl.
Come on, Brock, just carry Peyton. Don't worry about it. Let's go. Come on.
Carry him on your shoulders. He's gonna ride you. He's gonna ride you to a playoff berth, buddy. Don't worry. Don't you worry.
And then we're just gonna let the defense loose, and that's all we're gonna do.
That's exactly what happened. Fucking poor Brock Osweiler. He thought he was gonna be the king of Denver.
Then he got traded to Houston, cut by Houston, went to the Browns, and ended up back on Denver, where he still didn't get his starting job back.
I mean, for 2 years, $80-some million later, I mean, I wouldn't want to. I got hell yeah, it's nice work. Shit.
All I gotta do is this.
Remember when Brock Osweiler was the future?
I'm playing Scribble Knots. Sorry.
Remember when Brock Osweiler was the future of the Houston Texans? And by future, I mean future person that was going to get him a top first round draft pick so they get Deshaun Watson.
Brock Osweiler lost his job to Brandon Hoyer.
Yeah. Who then lost
the job to Yates.
Then also lost his job to the Macho Man Tom Savage. Oh yeah. Dig it.
All right, so next up we are going to talk about since we're playing week 3 roulette, let's go with the Falcons and the Colts. I didn't believe in Jacoby Brissett, but he stepped up in a big way. 2 players that were deemed out for the Colts this week played in the game.
Yeah, we got screwed on that one.
No, you chose the Colts.
I did choose the Colts, didn't I? But I chose the Colts. Like as I think that was my. No, I had another one. I blew that. No, the game that I picked that my what is it called? My
bold prediction.
Yeah, bold prediction. There you go. I have a lot on my mind. I'm sorry, but that wasn't it. Brissett, he did He did good. As much as that, he could probably ask for him really in this game.
He's playing very well.
Well, I know, and no doubt. Like I guess the thing is that I was just really surprised that I picked them. I was just really surprised that they won this game. Be dead honest with you. Super surprised that they won this game. If you look at the stats one by one, Jacoby Brissett outpassed Matt Ryan. But Atlanta outran Indianapolis, but not by much. But if I told you that Matt Ryan went for 304 yards and Julio Jones went for 128 and a touchdown, and they still lost, would you believe me? Are you sucking your thumb, sir?
Oh, this is what I think about the Colts.
A bunch of babies.
Yep. They have a drunk as a GM and owner.
I mean, yeah.
They have a head coach who used an illegal play in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. Oh, yeah, let's not talk about
that. I still don't know how they lost, but they lost. The Falcons lost. They really needed this
why?
one.
I can tell you why.
Why?
The return of Matty Meltdown.
I mean, yeah, he did melt down, bro. What you want? You wanted me to?
Homeboy melts faster than an ice cube on a 500-degree burner.
I don't have any excuses for Matty Meltdown. I don't know what you want me to think.
Matty Meltdown, future Hall of Fame wide receiver who is going to end up like fucking Megatron because he will never win a ring in Atlanta. In Atlanta, it's going to be like the Lions and force a Hall of Famer to retire because they won't trade him.
The problem is now, who do you trade him to? I mean, if you really you think they're gonna take that big ass contract?
Patriots for Julio Jones? Remember, the Patriots work in incentives. Yes.
No, but the Falcons front loaded everything. That's the problem.
Yeah, so they can pay it off right now. Trade us Julio in 2 years. Good.
Oh, you're already thinking ahead, sir. Is that what it is? Okay.
All right. So next up, we have a game that started off as a blowout, but then the quarterback who runs and throws every once in a while brought it back to him and tried to celebrate a fourth down conversion that he didn't get. The Baltimore Ravens at the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh,
what was up with Mr. Premature Celebration there, buddy?
Premature celebration and premature ejaculation are two problems in the male society.
And one is done by John Harbaugh and the other one for Lamar Jackson.
Look at these impressive stats. You ready for these stats? 22 for 43 for 267 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That's right.
Against one of the worst defenses in the NFL.
We don't score until you score. And apparently he didn't score. So guess what, buddy? He didn't score. Mark Ingram scored 3 times on the day, however. Lamar Jackson ran it.
Mark Ingram is a godsend to the Ravens because he's the only one who's actually fucking consistent.
Yeah. 16 carries, 103 yards. I'm sorry, Lamar Jackson ran one in. My bad. I forgot about that part. However, Patrick Mahomes is out there doing Patrick Mahomes things. 27 to 37, 374 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And some dude named Hardeman had 2 catches for 97 yards.
Yes, that is their new Tyreek Hill.
No, lovely. That should be fun. LaShawn McCoy barely played. He had 8 carries for 54 yards. That's interesting.
LaShawn McCoy is an odd man out in Kansas City because all they do is throw the fucking ball.
I know, right? And if I remember correctly, LaShawn McCoy said he hates catching passes off of screens.
But like I said when it happened, LaShawn McCoy went back to his ex who cut him a long time ago.
I mean,
yeah. This was slated to be one of the better games of the weekend. It ended up not being a good game.
No, it didn't become a game until the fourth quarter.
5 minutes in the fourth quarter and shit.
Yeah, be dead honest. But shout out to Kansas City. Mahomes doing Mahomes things.
Don't worry, Mahomes. You will see a real defense in a few weeks when you step up to the Patriots.
There you go. We'll see how that one goes.
Next up, we have a game that we knew was going to be bad just because of the way the Vikings lost last week. The Raiders at the Vikings. The Vikings mollywopped the Oakland Raiders.
Yes.
They went back to doing Vikings things, running the ball and playing defense.
So the $1 million question is, how many times did the Vikings run the football this time? You want to know how many times they ran the football?
Yes, I would like to know how many times they ran the football.
They ran the ball 38 times for a total of 211 yards rushing.
Didn't Kirk Cousins only throw the ball like 19 times in this game?
Barely, close, 21 times. But he had one touchdown, no interception, which is pretty nice.
But in other words, Minnesota, I hope your coach is looking at me dead in the eyes right now. Dead in the fucking eyes. Kirk Cousins got a lot of money from you. How about asking him donate that to the running back?
Yeah.
Because that man, Dalvin Cook, is putting in fucking work.
Yeah. He's averaging 6 yards a carry in that game. He averaged 6 yards a carry in that game. That means if he touched the ball twice, he gets a touchdown. First down, excuse me.
Well, it almost was a touchdown every time he touched the ball.
Yeah, because they weren't fucking stopping him anyway to begin with, right? But this team ran 38 running plays and 21 passing plays. That's the new Minnesota way.
And every time they do this, they win. So keep doing it.
If that's the recipe for success, better put it in grandmama's little thing for stored recipes and keep on fucking cooking it. That's what I think.
So next up was the betting man's most hated game of the weekend because a rookie quarterback threw a pick six at a very bad time in the game, then got benched for a 43-year-old starting quarterback. Jared Stidham got on the field through two passes. One of them went for a pick six, and he never saw the field again.
And that's how Bill Belichick handles business.
Josh Gordon in this game was something else. He dislocated his finger. 2 plays later, made 2 very acrobatic catches.
Yeah, yes, he fucking did. This game.
We all talk about the Patriots offense, but
Yeah.
it's not the Patriots offense people need to be talking about right now.
Yeah. So here's the thing. This defense is looking like the old 2000-2001 defense. I'm telling you, they're going to be the team that ends this little offensive-minded a gameplay that we have now in the NFL. As we all know, it's about the vertical passing game and blah, 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 and getting points on the board. Bill Belichick is getting rid of all of that and putting defenses in built to stop these passing teams.
And letting Josh McDaniels put the points on the board.
Yeah. And meanwhile, I'm not going to say the guy's name, but the other guy's name that Toby wanted me to say. However, I will say that the Jets probably do need a quarterback after Luke Falk went for 12.
Just give me the $5 and say his fucking name.
No, Luke Falk went 12 of 22 for 98 yards in this game. No touchdowns and an interception.
Hold on, the New York Post before this game called Luke Falk the next Tom Brady.
Well, Tom Brady has never had a 12 for 22 game for 96 yards, no touchdowns and an interception, and was sacked 5 times.
But, okay, so we talked about this last week. I just want to say it again. During practice, the Patriots think their offense is mediocre. The reason they think their offense is mediocre is because the defense is stellar.
Yeah.
Put this what they call a mediocre offense on the field against decent defenses. The decent defenses get torched because they're happy they're not playing against this shit that Bill Belichick has created on the defensive side of the football.
I just thought the most impressive thing was that as soon as Stidham threw that pass for the pick six, you got to get back off. I didn't ask you to give points to the New York Jets, okay? I really think that Bill Belichick despises the Jets. And I don't know why.
You traded him to Demarius Thomas, and all of a sudden their quarterback had mono.
It's all part of the plan. Anyways, shout out.
Germ warfare by Bill Belichick.
By any means necessary.
So All right, we discussed it at length earlier, and I'm just going to say it again. This defense was good last year. This Patriots defense.
Yeah.
They had one piece by the name of Jamie Collins, and his defense has become something that the NFL has never seen before.
Oh, no, you're right. You are definitely right.
This defense can match the Steel Curtain. This defense can match the Legion of Boom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Patrick Chung, the McCourty twins, Gilmore, Hightower, Kyle Van Noy, Chase Winovich, Jamie Collins, Michael Bennett. Fucking, do I need to keep going?
No.
The last 3 did you know this, James? Did you know this? The last 3 games, the first 3 games of this season, every single player who has suited up in a Patriots jersey has played in the games.
Oh, lovely. That's how bad it is.
Bill Belichick is using the Patriots like a Little League team. Everybody must play.
All right, go ahead and bring up the next game. I'm going to bring you up on a solo thing. I'm going to grab my cup of water in the living room real quick.
All right, so the next game we're talking about is the Lions and the Eagles. And we called this one. We both said the Lions were actually pretty damn good, regardless of that game 1 debacle with Arizona. The Lions still have not lost a game, and the Eagles suck. I'm just going to say straight out. I have family who are Eagles fans. I don't care. They suck. Carson Wentz is not the same quarterback he was 2 years ago. The defense is damn sure not the same as it was. Your receivers can't catch passes to save your fucking lives. Mr. Aguiar, that man drops more passes than fucking Jared Stidham throws wide open interceptions, which is only one, but bad analogy. The Detroit Lions have finally got themselves a cohesive team for the first time since Barry Sanders and McMillan has played there.
No, you're right. And that's the one thing we talked about at the beginning of the season, right? Because we asked ourselves, are the Lions going to be in a better position last year versus this year?
And what did I say? I said, as long as the players continue to buy in to Matt Patricia's system, the team will be fine.
The only person that I'm worried about, though, is the quarterback, Matt Stafford. He is the only one, because they really designed this offense, right? Like, so when they brought in your boy and they designed this offense, they made it to take the pressure off of Matt Stafford for throwing the ball, not having to throw the ball for 400 yards plus a game in a losing effort. It's kind of like how they probably should have preserved the legs of Barry Sanders by bringing in a quarterback that actually knew how to play quarterback instead of bringing in Scott Mitchell.
And Jim McMahon.
That's what they're doing. The problem is Matt Stafford, to me, is not holding up his end of the bargain. I mean, so in order for me to understand this, they are winning in spite of Matt Stafford.
Okay, so I agree. Unfortunately, for the last 7 years, Matt Stafford has had to be the guy. Mm-hmm. Matt Stafford has never been the guy, but he has had to be the guy. Yeah. Matt Patricia has brought in a solid defense, a solid run game, which Detroit hasn't had since Barry Sanders.
Yeah.
And he's actually brought in possession receivers.
Yeah.
i.e. Danny Amendola.
Yeah.
Which Matt Stafford, I still think, is struggling to play with guys like that because he's used to throwing one and dones to the likes of Golden Tate or Megatron.
Yeah, and I mean, real talk though, like, so you know who's actually been a real godsend though to this Detroit offense? Marvin Jones Jr.
Yes,
they stole him from Cincinnati. That has literally been, if you go over the stats over the last 3 games, literally Matt Stafford's main primary target. Amendola's
the funniest part about that is, you say he stole them from Cincinnati.
Yeah.
He actually wanted to go to New England, but New England was already stocked at receiver, so he went to another New England-style system, which is the Detroit Lions.
Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, they still remember this was before he went to Detroit before. Who's the white guy? Who's the other white? What, Chris Jones? That was his name? That was that was in New England last year before he signed his big contract where he's at now.
Oh, you talking about Chris Hogan?
Hogan, that's what I mean.
Yeah, he's in Carolina.
Yeah, so he signed a big ass contract Carolina, but he was. If Marvin Jones had known that Chris Hogan was going to go to Carolina, then Marvin Jones would have signed with New England. That's a little story, a little tidbit that I found out. But this has been beneficial. I mean, Matt Stafford's been able to get the ball to him. Out of 9 targets, he got 6 catches out of it. I mean, 66% of your targets, you're getting the ball. That's not even something that Odell Beckham could say when he was in New York. Meanwhile, Carson Wentz, bro, you can't really blame Carson Wentz for this game.
No, and that's what I'm saying. The Eagles receivers cannot hold on to the fucking ball.
There you go.
Here's my impression of Nelson Aguilar. Oh, Carson, why didn't you throw it to me right? It hit me in the hands.
Now, here you go. You got to do the Vogue when he goes to catch the Vogue. You're not catching the football. You're just doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck?
2 games in a row, Mr. Aguilar, you blew it.
Bruh, I know Eagles fans is pissed. That dude EDP has been on one. He's like, yeah, like if you go on YouTube, I think EDP has been.
Talking about Mr. Eat the Pussy?
Yeah, he didn't have like 7 8 heart attacks. Carson
Wentz. That motherfucker was on one when they won the Super Bowl. He ain't been right since.
Yeah, I know. The problem that Eagles have had is that.
Also, can I say one more thing about the Eagles?
Yeah.
Darren Sproles is an old man.
Yeah, and they still are trying to run the football with him. Do you know they haven't thrown him the ball at all?
Which is a big mistake because he actually got good hands.
Yeah, they haven't thrown him the ball. They haven't.
I know my cousin Amy is probably watching this right now because I trashed the Eagles when you left. I don't know if you heard me, but I trashed the Eagles. I don't give a shit. They suck.
Yeah, you can't. Like I said, this is the one you can't blame Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz would have easily had 400 yards or passing had Eagles receivers had actually caught the goddamn football.
And also, let's not forget this either. Last year and the year before, they had Chris Long and Michael Bennett on that defense, which were no longer there, and they can no longer get to the quarterback.
Nope, not at all. One thing that you can say about Matt Stafford, he has not been touched.
No, his offensive, like I said, Matt Patricia has put together a team over there. Mm-hmm. And Trey Flowers is leading that defense also.
Yes, sir.
The old New England guys in Detroit are making a difference.
Yeah. Eagles better do something soon. Because remember, I had them picked to go back into the playoffs.
Yeah.
They better do something soon. I don't know what they got to do.
Spoiler alert, they're at Green Bay this week. So next up we have a game that nobody saw the outcome of this one coming. We actually thought Kyler Murray was going to win his first game, but some little white boy in Carolina who don't wear no dresses or no funky fucking Medea hats threw 4 touchdowns in the game and dominated the Arizona Cardinals this week.
Kyle Allen, 19 of 26, 261 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, barely even touched. Meanwhile, Kyler Murray. So somebody explain to me where this Carolina defense came in this year, bro. They sacked Kyler Murray 8 times for 46 yards.
Well, can I just say something? And I don't want to sound rude when I say this.
Yeah.
It is very easy for an NFL player to tackle and sack a Pee Wee football player.
I'm gonna.
Come on, look. Okay, you see my hand right here?
Yeah.
That's the Carolina Panthers defensive lineman. That's Kyler Murray.
So I'm gonna reiterate. We talked about this whole offense that this Cliff Kingsbury red gun offense, spread offense, college BS that they're running. All right, so there's a reason why Texas Tech has never won a national championship.
They were close last year.
There's a reason why a team like Oklahoma State has never won a national championship. There's a reason why a lot of spread football teams have never won a national championship. Would you like to know why that answer is? Why that is, Phil? It's because once you play a legitimate team, all that spread bullshit goes thrown out the fucking window. Mm-hmm. Playing in the NFL would be like Texas Tech having to play Alabama for 16 straight weeks. And I say Alabama because
they play a pro-style defense.
Yeah.
Because Nick Saban is a Belichick guy.
Yeah. I mean, there's games where Alabama has played Texas Tech and Alabama has played Oklahoma State University. And in each of those games, the outcome has been favorably in Alabama's favor. Now, we'll put this to perspective of this Kyler Murray. He had 30 out of 43 passing attempts. He had 30 completions, right? That's if you hit 30 out of 43, you're doing great, right? I mean, you're obviously doing something right.
Larry Fitzgerald has been having good games.
The problem is that he only completed that much for 173 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And he was sacked 8 times.
And as I said when we started talking about this game, it's very easy for an NFL player to knock down a Pee Wee football player.
He also is their leading rusher because David Johnson got completely shut down.
So Kyler, look at me right here. Look at me right here. I'm looking at you dead in the eye right now. Call Major League Baseball and take the contract they offered you.
I would too. Anyways. Hey.
So for anybody who's just joining us and never seen me do one of these shows, I am Mr. Slap you in the face with some obvious truth.
Yeah. Kyler, and my whole thing is not that Kyler Murray doesn't know how to play quarterback. It's just that this Cliff Kingsbury bullshit is gonna get his ass killed. Cliff Kingsbury, that offense gets people killed. I don't think people understand.
I just have that sinking feeling one of these times he's going to get sacked. The defensive player is going to get up and start walking off, and you're not going to see Kyler Murray anymore because he's going to be stuck on the fucking defensive player in between his shoulder pads and his armpit.
Bruh, do you know who Garrett Gilbert is?
Nope.
So if I told you that Garrett Gilbert was at Texas Tech when Cliff Kingsbury was the coach, and he has is it the Big 12? Is that what they're fucking in? He set Big 12 passing records. I think the old boy has went for like 16,000 yards or some ridiculous ass stat. But he also can't play anymore because all the injuries that he suffered while he was in the Cliff Kingsbury. Because when he got to the pros, he couldn't throw it like he was throwing it in college because Cliff Kingsbury got this man killed when they were playing. And this is the man that you left in one good season, and this is the man that you left in charge of your entire football organization in Arizona.
You fired a coach after 1 year.
Yep.
You bring in a guy, Cliff Kingsbury, because, hey, he's a good-looking head coach. He's young. He'll connect the players. It's easy to connect the players when there aren't breathing machines.
I don't even fathom. If you said
poor little Kyler Murray is going to look like fucking A Christmas Carol, the kid with the crutch. The hell's his fucking name?
Timmy O'Toole?
He's going to look like that. But he's also going to have braces up and down his body like Kurt Warner in his last couple years in Arizona. You're going to have mini-me robo quarterback back there, still getting sacked. And Larry Fitzgerald like, fuck, I should have took that contract in New England when I had the chance.
Bold prediction, Kyler Murray would even look good right now on the freaking Miami Dolphins as opposed to where he's at right now in Arizona. That's my bold prediction. There you go.
Okay, so with that shit being said, it is time for, oh my God, Sin called it, right? We have the New York Daniel Jones-led Giants taking on his vaunted defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I know, my boy. I've been out sick the last couple days. My friend, so the two people that I work with at work, one's a Giants fan and one's a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, and they sit right next to each other. And there was big money on the line for this game. I think as much shit talking they put up. The Buccaneers fan put up 500. Yeah.
I said, and I quote, "This New York Giants team is going to rally around Daniel Jones because he doesn't have Down syndrome and he's not Eli Manning."
Yeah. I mean,
and what did this Giants team do? They rallied around Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones had 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns. And for the first time in NFL history, a rookie quarterback has done that in the same game. And he's also the only quarterback not named Eli Manning to win a game in a Giants uniform since 2004.
And my bet almost came through. The score was 28-10 at the end of the first half. Like I was cruising, like we were good. Saquon Barkley got hurt. Like this was legitimately. I'm like, this is an easy win for me, right? All of a sudden,
that man came onto the field.
Daniel Big Balls Jones came in the second half. He put his big balls around the field, just flopped them bitches, just like flap, and just proceeded to just thrash the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He ended up with 22 or 36, 23 or 36 for 336 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. But he got put on his ass a lot in this game. Jameis Winston, on the other hand, really showed out. He threw for 400 yards, almost 400 yards. And no crab legs were stolen. And he's yes, we know he's a loser. Okay. But Mike Evans had 190 passing yards. They dissected one of the best defenses in the NFL. That's what the Giants came down to.
I know people who know me are looking at me like, hold on, he's talking good about the Giants? No. I'm talking bad about the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
I knew the Giants were going to win this game. Just the sheer fact that Daniel Jones was starting already gave the Giants the advantage in this game. Reasons being, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers don't strike me as a team who watch preseason football.
True.
Bruce Arians doesn't strike me as a coach who's going to sweat a rookie quarterback, especially one from Duke.
Why you gotta bring up Duke shit?
Especially one that they drafted as the number 6 pick, who should have been a 6th round pick.
Should have drafted Gardner Minshew, but anyway.
Hey, Daniel Jones looked great in preseason, and he did look good in this game. If he continues to evolve his game, the New York Giants might be back in the fight.
And oddly enough, this probably is going to be his toughest test for the next few weeks. Exactly. The next few defense that he has to play are like ranked 20 lower.
And I'm going to say it right now. The Dallas Cowboys would be 2-1 if Daniel Jones was playing in that first game of the season.
Here we go. That's a bold prediction right there. I don't know about all that.
Of course, it's a bold prediction because it won't happen, because it can't happen until the last game of the season when Daniel Jones knocks the Cowboys out of playoff contention by beating them in the final week of the season.
Oh, here we go. That's a bold prediction.
It's not a spoiler, ladies and gentlemen. It's the truth. All right. So I have a bad taste in my mouth now talking good about the Giants. Right. Next up, we have this is a game that me and Mr. Black agreed on because the Chargers are playing like a team who doesn't have their best running back.
It's almost as if he said, "Stop that shit right now." What are we stopping? What did I do, Sid?
Huh?
No, Sid says, "Stop that shit right now." Shout out Joe. Shout out Jay. Oh, what's good, Julian? What's good?
Stop bullshit. Talk.
I said anything about the Cowboys.
Okay, listen. If you watch any of our shows, you know I hate the Cowboys. Because Cowboy fans think because they beat the 27th, 28th, and 29th ranked defenses in the NFL, we're going to the Super Bowl.
Hey, there's gonna be some real tests are coming this week. I promise you though.
Just wait until Dallas plays New England. I cannot fucking wait.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be real fun.
So we're talking about now the Texans and a team who's playing, like I said, that they don't have their best running back.
It's almost as if their running back was waiting or holding out for something, isn't it? It's almost.
And you know what else weird? What I read today?
Yeah.
Is that the San Diego ownership is actually putting together a package that this running back might actually like.
But it didn't do him any favors because they had a football game to play last Sunday and he wasn't there.
And
so
the Texans bitch slapped him.
and this is what happens when you don't have a running game that you need to control the offensive line. And the Chargers are now realizing that.
Alert. Hold on, news alert, because the Texans have the best wide receiver in football.
Yes, you need to control the clock. And they don't have that because they didn't have a running back. Yikes. So, yes.
Running back by committee only works when you actually have decent running backs in that committee.
That's true. You need to have an actual committee. I mean, playing running back by committee only works if you have a committee to play running back with.
Not random motherfucker number 3, 4, and 2.5. Was that Kyler Murray in the backfield? Hold on.
Fucking quarterback for the fucking Buffalo Bills. Let's just put some quarterbacks back there. Let's see if we can make it.
I think Josh Allen would be an upkeep in running backs for San Diego right now.
Yeah, he would. He said, Sid said at the end of the day, it's New England, not denying that. I mean, in the East, in the AFC, yeah. I mean, we're going to call a spade a spade. In AFC, and you hear me, I say it every single year. I say until somebody in the East, in the AFC can say, I'm better than New England, it's always going to be New England in the AFC. They failed to impress. Every team in the AFC has failed to impress me. The Browns were the only team that I really have picked to meet.
Use your words, be fine.
To meet them in the AFC Championship, and the Browns are already fucking that up. So
and let's be honest. Last year, we beat Kansas City twice, and our defense wasn't as good as it is this year.
Yeah. So, yikes.
Kansas City did not improve defensively.
Nope, not at all. And they should be. This whole Jalen Ramsey trade should have been. I would have traded for him. If I'm Kansas City, I'm making the trade. Where are you going to find corner talent?
The problem here is the Jacksonville Jaguars are not going to trade Jalen Ramsey.
No. I think Gardner Minshew's probably going to help him keep him. Matter of fact, if you really want me to be a betting man on it,
Jalen is actually, his wife's having a baby, probably as we speak. So he'll actually be in a good mood for a few days.
Yeah, he'll be there for a while. It's all right.
So the Texans beat up on the Chargers.
Yep, we got this New Orleans and Seattle game.
This is the game that nobody saw coming. Me and Mr. Black, we sat here. We looked all of you in your beautiful, beautiful faces. It said the Seattle Seahawks are going to kick the shit out of the New Orleans Saints. Lo and behold, Teddy Bridgewater remembered he's an NFL quarterback and that he has a guy who cannot be tackled named Alvin Kamara playing behind him.
Yes, Alvin Kamara, 16 carries, 69 yards, and a touchdown. Alvin Kamara, 9 catches, 92 yards, and a touchdown. Michael Thomas, 5 catches, 54 yards, and a touchdown. Subsequently led to Teddy Bridgewater only going 19 of 27 for 177 yards. 2 touchdowns.
The Drew Brees-less Saints went to Seattle and dominated the Seahawks.
Oh, yes, because the Seahawks. This is the thing. New Orleans was winning 27-7 all the way up until the fourth quarter.
And then it was garbage time.
Yeah. I have no words for this game because Russell Wilson had 40 yards passing, but that was it. That's the only positive that you can take away from this game from Seattle. because how the hell do you let New Orleans just crack you in the mouth? The breezeless Saints come in and just crack you in the mouth. I have no idea.
One person cracked him in the mouth, and his name is Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, I don't know. You got to rethink
How do you let
that
one person go into the 12th man stadium and slap 53 plus a senior citizen right in the fucking mouth?
Yep,
that is what happened on Sunday.
That's really all you can say about it. Alvin Kamara, the MVP, bro. I think he was the MVP of the weekend, if you ask me.
All right, so next up we have one of my favorite highlights came out of this game, and it's the Steelers at the 49ers, and it was the running back of the 49ers stiff-arming Mr. Fitzpatrick back to Miami.
Oh, God. I'm starting to have when I saw that, I have flashbacks of high school when I ran over a big-ass Samoan dude when I was playing running back. That shit was, like, Kyle, they call him the Juice, Kyle Jusick. Jesus Christ, man.
All right, so let's put this game in context. Jimmy Garoppolo struggled.
Yep.
Majorly.
Yep.
But his team came back and won.
Yep. They stayed in there. Defense stayed in there. They grinded it out. I mean, that was our only struggle. Even though Jimmy Garoppolo had 277 yards passing, he has had a hard time being acclimated back into playing in the NFL since his knee injury.
He'll get there.
I hope so, because he's my worry, man. Our running game is good.
Okay, the way you guys look at it right now is you guys are winning in spite of Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Once he gets over that fear of his leg, it gets back into actually playing. You guys have a legit team.
Yeah. Well, I just hope it happens sooner rather than later, because we got a deep
I told you before the season to probably be around week 6.
Yeah. I mean, we can maintain, if we can go 4-2 or 5-1 leading in week 6, I'll be happy. But yeah, Mason Rudolph in his second start of his career, 27, 174, 2 touchdowns and an interception. The running game, no running game, bro. Let's tell everybody who watches. James Conner was part of the hype machine last year. He is not that good. No, the Steelers are struggling without a true number 1 receiver and a true number 1 running back. They are
because
struggling.
You take Juju Smith-Schuster out of the game, the Steelers have nothing.
Yeah. I mean,
it just so happens Juju is very easy to take out of the game because he doesn't know how to play the head games with the quarterbacks.
Yeah, exactly. And then when you have a rookie quarterback to add this to the equation, it's a wrap. This is going to be a long season for the Steelers, bro. It's a wrap. This is going to be rough.
You see, I'm waiting for that first 49ers-Rams game this year. That's what I'm waiting.
Yeah, me too. Between that game and the Seahawks game, it'll kind of gauge me on where we're at this year.
But the one thing the Niners have to do this year is something they haven't done in 6 years.
Which is?
Beat the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh yeah, we gotta get on that like ASAP.
You guys have to tackle that little pee-wee football player in the backfield and beat them.
Oh, poor little tink. We'll get them. Don't worry.
Next up, we have a game that we already discussed. We're just going to say it one more time. Baker Mayfield made bad decisions, and the not-so-good Rams beat the Browns.
Yes. Yep. That's about as good as it comes. It said check back earlier in the show for a little bit more detail. We went over that game through and through,
And next up, we have the absolutely most pathetic showing of an NFL team in week 3. It got so bad that even their mascot left. The Washington Redskins just letting the Chicago Bears defense do whatever they want to their offense because Mitchell Trubisky did everything he could to lose this game.
Yeah, I mean, 25 of 31, 231, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. It wasn't so bad. They even ran the ball mostly decent. Case Keenum, on the other hand, did everything he could to really just say, fuck it.
So I'm gonna say this, and I know some people are gonna laugh about it when I say it, but then you're gonna realize, hey, it's true. Case Keenum it's Kirk Cousins. It's either all or nothing with this man. He's either going to throw the ball and have a touchdown, or he's going to throw the ball and have a pick.
Yeah, and he already had a pick six. He almost had a second pick six in this game. The way that he threw this almost pick six, he threw it literally right into triple coverage. Like, there was no way the receiver was getting that ball because the receiver was blanketed from the top and the bottom, and he threw a shit throw right in the deep coverage. And I was like, wow, really?
If you want to see a picture that explains this whole game, look up the picture of Dwayne Haskins on the bench next to the coach and him, where Dwayne Haskins isn't even interested in anything going on.
Yeah. I mean, you got to ask yourself, is it time to bring in Haskins? Is it time?
With that look on his face, I wouldn't trust him to be in the game because he just might say, fuck it.
I mean, they're pretty much there anyway, right? I think the Redskins are almost on Miami levels of hatred, almost. I mean, as far as
I don't know, that Miami level's pretty fucking big right now, man.
Yeah, I know. But we're almost there, man. I think you gotta play Haskins at this point. If Case Keenum, how you gonna throw it right into triple coverage? Like, if you look at the replay, right into triple coverage.
Case Keenum took. All right, here's Case Keenum in a nutshell. He took a blown defensive call in Minnesota 2 years ago. A blown defense. He took that to 2 big contracts.
Yep. I agree.
One in Denver and then one in Washington.
I agree on 100%. I agree.
Case Keenum, in my mind, has never been a real good quarterback. He's never been an NFL quarterback in my mind.
No, I mean, in a level of serviceable backups, I think he's a serviceable backup. But yeah. I think if
he'll come in, he'll put up some numbers. He'll win. He might win you a few games. Yeah. But the year in Minnesota was special.
Yeah, it is what it is. But
so that covers week 3. We have a game to pick now. Week 4, we have the Eagles coming in with both of their wings flipped at this point.
Yes. Taking
on Aaron Rodgers, who found his swagger at Green Bay. To me, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah, to me, it's a no-brainer, too. I'm taking the Packers with this one. The Packers are at Lambeau Field. Okay? This is going to be a game. Remember I told you how Thursday night games have to go. You have to grind them out. Yeah. Quarterback shouldn't have to perform that much. That way you can leave with the W and take the rest of the week off. It's I don't know. I like Green Bay in this game. Too many factors at the end of the day. Too many.
Yeah, factors. I'm gonna make it short and sweet. Green Bay is the better team.
Yeah.
They are better defensively. They're better offensively. Aaron Rodgers has his swagger, and they really rarely lose at home.
Yeah, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So we got a couple notes before we get out of here, real quick. College football rundown. 3 big things that happened. Washington State, which was the highest ranked Pac-12 team, got destroyed in overtime. Actually, not even overtime. They got destroyed by UCLA. They're out. They got knocked down a bunch of pegs. It's a wrap for them. UCF took an L this weekend. I know Sid is probably particularly interested in that one because he used to live down here in Orlando with me before he moved back up to Philly. But yeah, they took that L. The UCF took an L to Pitt in overtime. That was sad. And then, what was I saying? The other big one. There was one more big one. Oh, Michigan losing to Wisconsin, getting blown out by Wisconsin. That one was a crazy ass game. And this is like a week after that he started talking shit about Jim Harbaugh. And you know how shit goes.
So I got to interrupt you for a second.
Yeah.
Just open up Facebook real quick. And the first thing that popped up is a meme. All right. So you see the face right there? You know who that is?
I think I know who it is.
It's Nick Foles.
Yeah.
He's on the phone. He's saying, honey, it's happening again. but the roles are reversed. Sell the house. He has a mustache.
Sell the house. He has a mustache. Pretty much. That's college in a nutshell is crazy. We don't really get to talking about college until the conference games start. So, but keep in mind, UCF has already lost their game at Pitt. Unless Pitt goes undefeated, then you can count UCF out of any kind of national contention.
It's not going undefeated.
No, I didn't say Pitt going undefeated for the whole season. I just said if they win until the end of the season. What else is there?
Oh my God! You want to know a comedy meme real quick?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I'm so disgusted right now. I thought doggy style was when you kissed while eating spaghetti. You guys are fucking gross.
Wow. All right. The only other thing is that we got NBA. The big news there is that Kyrie Irving, during a pickup game at the park, broke his face. I don't know how you break your face during a pickup game, but that's a hell of a pickup game, and I want no part of that.
They were playing Jailhouse Rules, and he thought he was Uncle. He thought he was, what was his name? Uncle Drew?
Yeah, Uncle Drew. Yeah.
He thought he was Uncle Drew, and he got elbowed in the face.
So that's a wrap for him. And that's it. That's all I got, really. Big Sin, anything else before we bounce up out of here?
We will be back on Friday.
Yes.
With the rest of the week 4 predictions. And that's all I got. This will be up on YouTube and Facebook, Sinful Black TV, tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Yep, as well as be on the podcast on Sinful Black TV, anchor.fm/Sinful Black TV. Until then,
the gaming videos are popping. The Legend of Zelda. There will be more live streams this weekend.
Yep.
And there'll even be live streams of the brand new game Code Vein.
Oh yeah, that's good.
This weekend also.
And I'll be sharing that. Good to have you here, Mr. Robert. Appreciate you coming down. Until then, this is your boy James, aka Hollywood J Black. That's the man, Big Sin. This is the Overtime Sports Show, and we are out this bitch. Deuces. Hold on, wait. Deuces. There we go.